Crumpet Espresso. Crumpet Espresso.
Welcome into another edition of Crumpets and Espresso. I'm Jason Longshore, filling in for our fearless leader/host, Nick Alifi, who is off on assignment and or slammed at work. Both might be applicable. It's a little light on the Crumpets and Espresso because the leagues around the world, it's a little light on the schedule this time of year. Most leagues are either in an off season, like Major League Soccer, have completed a season, like Mexico and most of Central America, are on a winter break, like Germany, or some leagues just add extra games during this time of year, like England. England does take a break from league play this upcoming weekend. It's the FA Cup, and John Nelson has all of your juice boxes and other assorted paraphernalia to get you ready.
Crumpet.
Time to take a peek at the FA Cup round of 64. And this is where the championship clubs come into play, as well as the Premier League clubs coming into play. 32 matches this weekend, and only 13 of them get VAR. So according to the FA, those facilities that are capable of hosting VAR situations will get them, and that's only 13 of the 32 this weekend. So in the 19 that will not have them, anticipate a shenanigan, much like El Mataflo told us in our show conversation. Remember Swansea City, Manchester United last year. Swansea City had VAR, but wasn't allowed to use it. So that was part of the problem last year. How many problems will it create this season? We'll wait and see after this weekend is over. A couple of notes. You've got Manchester City and Port Vale. Look for Ederson to come back for Manchester City between the sticks after sitting out the Everton match because of illness. John Stones near a return from a hamstring injury. So here's your stat of the match according to our friends at Sky Sports. Port Vale have faced the FA Cup holders twice in their history, eliminated them both times. Blackpool in 53-54, Everton 95 and 96. Wolves and Manchester United going at it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said that there will be changes for the game at Molineux. Sergio Romero will start in goal for Manchester United. You could see the likes of Diogo Dalot, Marcus Rojo, Eric Bailly, Fosu Mensah, Tuanzebe, all close to returns. Pogba, McTominay, James Garner, Dylan Levitt are all set to miss out. Diogo Jota has been ruled out for Wolves, picked up a knock against Watford New Year's Day. Willie Bully, Morgan Gibbs-White also anticipated to be absent there as well. Sheffield United and AFC Fylde, that is Sunday. Jack Rodwell signed a short-term deal with Sheffield United, could feature in the FA Cup. And that one could be interesting. Chris Wilder is set to change his entire side that lost to Liverpool on Thursday. He wants to give his guys, quote, a few days off to clear their heads and get right. So Jack Rodwell could make a debut. You could see starts from guys like Phil Jagielka, Bezic, Freeman, Billy Sharp, Callum Robinson, and AFC Fylde in the third round for the first time. But they will be without Mehdi Kozolo, so that could be a long day for them. Liverpool and Everton Sunday afternoon. What do you do with Naby Keita now added to the injured list? A groin issue picked up in the win over Sheffield United. Here's who else is out. He's down to 12 senior outfield players, plus Takumi Minamino and youth team members. So look for Minamino to get some minutes. Here's who's dinged up at the moment. Matip, Lovren, Klein, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Shaqiri, Fabinho, Ryan Brewster, they're all out. So it could be an interesting day for Liverpool going up against Everton. Morgan Schneiderlin now back after making a full recovery for the calf injury that was sustained last month. Gillingham and West Ham, no selection concerns for Gillingham. Southampton duo Tommy O'Connor, Alfie Jones are going to remain with the Gills on loan to the end of the season. West Ham is going to kick the tires on Lucas Fabianski to see if he'll be able to go. He missed training as he continues to get his return back from his hip issue. David Martin also has a thigh problem, so the net could be interesting for West Ham. Arsenal and Leeds on Monday. Arsenal's without Callum Chambers, 6 to 9 months after going knee surgery. Kieran Tierney also is out after dislocating his shoulder last month. Bellerin and Martinelli have hamstring issues, and they will be game-time decisions. Leeds looking to make some changes under Marcelo Bielsa. Eddie Nketiah returning to Arsenal. Tyler Roberts could play, and Barry Douglas may end up tapping Alioski, who came off at half against West Brom, and Ilan Meslier may be making his debut, so an interesting look there for Leeds. Your other fixtures: Birmingham, Blackburn, Bristol City, Shrewsbury, Burnley, Peterborough, Millwall, Newport, Rochdale, Newcastle, Rotherham, Hull City, Brentford, Stoke, Brighton, Sheffield, Cardiff, Carlisle, Fulham, Aston Villa, Oxford United, and Hartlepool. Go Hartlepool. Preston, Norwich, Reading, Blackpool, Southampton, Huddersfield, Watford, Tranmere, Bournemouth, Luton, Fleetwood Town and Portsmouth, Leicester, Wigan, Bristol Rovers, Coventry City on Sunday. Starts the rest of the Sunday fixtures. Burton Albion, Northampton, Charlton Athletic, West Brom, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Crewe and Barnsley, Crystal Palace, Derby County, Middlesbrough, Tottenham, QPR, and Swansea. So taking a quick peek when it comes to the juice boxes for your FA Cup, as we continue to make fun at the FA for not having VAR either available for none or available for all in the 32 matchups. Let's see if there's anything that sticks out when it comes to the 32 matchups on the board. So as we click on what we're supposed to click on here, prohibitive favorites, Burnley at minus 188, Millwall at minus 250, Rotherham and Hull they're looking at possibly as a draw. Cardiff at minus 300. Oxford United minus 300 against the non-league side. Southampton minus 223. Watford minus 400. Bournemouth minus 225. Leicester at minus 700 against Wigan. Manchester City obviously minus 2,500 against Port Vale. Wolves at Manchester United they're looking at as possibly being having to go at it as another one after this one. Same with Bristol and Coventry on Sunday. Burton Albion at minus 188. Chelsea at minus 550 against Forest. Crewe and Barnsley might get a redo if you believe in the juice boxers and what they're saying. Crystal Palace minus 143. Tottenham minus 150, even with Harry Kane out with a hamstring until further notice. They said it was a tear. QPR and Swansea may get a redo. Sheffield United at minus 800, even with the rotated side. And Liverpool and Everton. Right now, Liverpool, with all the injuries, only listed at plus 110. West Ham minus 188, as is Arsenal. So that's your look at FA Cup. And after a very busy Premier League time to get to this particular moment in the schedule. So who's going to be upset? That's going to be the fun part, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's your look at juice boxes, the FA Cup, and why the FA decided to do what they did. That's it for this go-around. We'll check in with you next time.
Do you know what Iron Brew is?
Close your eyes. Relax yourself. Escape the warm, nice climate of Italy. Escape the comfort of England, that lovely climate. Let's go to Scotland for a bit, where it's, winter. Everything's permafrost. We're taking a break. Everyone's in Dubai or somewhere warm because they're smart and they don't want to play on a sheet of ice. Either way, crack open an Iron Brew. Let's go check on Scotland, see what's going on. We don't have much in the way of game action right now. That doesn't mean things don't happen up there. Now, we're still almost a week removed now from Rangers breaking the curse by winning in Glasgow, well, they're always in Glasgow, but winning at Celtic Park for the first time in over a decade, and a very impressive performance from Rangers at that. Now, we talked a little bit about Celtic going to have to make moves, but to do so, you need money. Looks like Celtic might be getting some money, though. There's already rumors that Edson Odward might be targeted, and if that's the case, you're probably asking, especially if it's England, £30 million or so, because at this point, I just trust England to overpay for everything, and the price tag goes up when you have the EPL tag next to your name. They also might be getting a nice little windfall. There are rumors that Chelsea might be going after Moussa Dembele. I know there's 5 of them to keep track of. I apologize about that one. Let's just consider that this is the one that played for Celtic and tormented Rangers. It scored a perfect hat trick on his debut against Rangers when Lee Griffiths was out. Well, Celtic's got a 10% sell-on from if Lyon decides to move him. And if Chelsea decides to drop cash on him, Celtic could be in for a nice little bit of change coming up their way. Now, aside from other things, allegedly there have been rumors about Alfredo Morelos possibly being approached, but Rangers have been steadfast that they are not going to move the Buffalo, as beautiful and wonderful as he is, as psychotic as he is. If they don't, that's fine. They're gonna need an influx of cash somewhere, though. I think at some point, and I think at some point they're gonna have to sell him. But this might be a situation where the chips are completely all in on the 2019-2020 season as they try and stop Celtic from getting to 9 in a row. And look, Rangers right now are in a good spot. They've got a game in hand. They're 2 points back. You do the math. They win out the rest of the way, it's theirs, especially as you get to the second phase of things near the end of the season, where they'll probably face each other a couple more times, and everybody likes that when that happens. Now, aside from the old firm, because, sometimes we got to get off the old firm, looks like the SFA, Scottish Football Association, has warned Aberdeen's chairman, Dave Cormack, he will face sanctions should there be a repeat outburst. Now, those of you who've been keeping track of Aberdeen, I'm sure that tickled you a bit, tickled me a bit, when Aberdeen loses to Celtic and Sam Cosgrove gets sent off for a strong tackle. Didn't really see anything wrong with it myself. That's fine. He gets sent off and then gets suspended an extra 2 games because the SFA may as well be run by Eric Bischoff in like 1999. Cormack took exception to all this, was very, very vocal, and the SFA was not too happy about it. So he has been warned to basically keep his trap shut. So that's going to be one to keep an eye on that side of things. Now, as far as where you're standing in the table, if you are Aberdeen, you're still in 4th place, you're a point back, you still want to get that 3rd place, get that nice cushy situation, and proceed from there. Other gossip coming around, looks like Hearts will have a very different look after their promotion to the Scottish Women's Premier League. The women's game in Scotland, it ain't top flight by any stretch, but we're hoping to see it continue to expand and continue to grow. So good on Hearts for getting some progress there. And we always talk about, a money issue with Scottish teams. If you're familiar with the league, you understand the history of financial issues with so many teams facing financial issues. It's going to be a good shot in the arm of cash for any of these teams if they're able to continue to make money on the men's side especially, but on the women's side as that continues to improve. Mostly going forward now that we're in the transfer window, as transfers seem to develop, we'll be keeping an eye on that, keeping an eye on targets for all these clubs. It wouldn't be surprised to see Aberdeen and Atlanta United may be linked together. Nothing inside information about that, just speculating because of the relationship. Could see some loans going one way or another. We'll keep track with some of the other clubs because people like to keep track with some of the players that might be coming down to England or going elsewhere. For now, though, that's it from Scotland. Y'all enjoy yourself. Go back to that nice warm weather. Even London probably feels better right now than Scotland. John, Jason, back to y'all.
Classic smorgasbord.
We're going to bounce around a little bit as we put a wrap on the Crumpets and Espresso, the first edition of 2020. La Liga is back in action as of today, this afternoon. 2 draws on the board. Valladolid and Leganés 2-2, and Sevilla and Athletic Bilbao 1-1. Your table going into the weekend, Barcelona 2 points clear at the top on 39 points, Real Madrid on 37. Sevilla, with that draw today, is in 3rd on 35. You go down to 4th with Atletico Madrid on 32, Real Sociedad 31, Getafe on 30. That's your top 6. Bilbao just outside of that on 29 points. The weekend preview, Espanyol hosting Barcelona. This is a derby. This is a match with 2 teams that do not care for one another at all. Even with Espanyol on the bottom of the table, Barcelona on the top of the table, this is one you might want to take some time out for to check in on. This could be just a little spicy as you're looking for an interesting match on the weekend. 3 o'clock on BN Sport this Saturday. Interesting for Barcelona, though, they have a bit of an issue that they're going to have to figure out. Arturo Vidal reportedly he is owed £2 million for appearance-related bonuses he believes he's owed from last season. He's filed a lawsuit. How's that going to go? They're going to have to get this sorted out because Barcelona could really use Arturo Vidal at this point. You've got players injured. You've got a tricky spot going across town with a team that, look, this could change their season. You're going to have Espanyol trying to get out of the relegation spots right now. They are 5 points from safety. Celta Vigo and Leganés are on 14 points ahead of them. Espanyol's on 10, 12, and 4 for the season. They've got to get up to 15 with this season, one of their promoted teams, Mallorca, on 15 points, trying to hold on to safety. They've lost 4 of their last 5. Espanyol's lost 3 of their last 5. Leganés has actually made a little bit of a rally here with 2 wins and 2 draws in their last 5. It's been a while since Espanyol has beaten Barcelona. You're going back to February of 2009. Mauricio Pochettino led the team to a win at the Nou Camp. Can they do it this time? Probably not. More than likely not. I don't know what the juice boxes are in this one, but they're not going to be pretty. I would stay away from it. But this game could have a little bit of spice to it. You might want to keep an eye on it. The other one, in the top 2 teams in the league, Getafe is hosting Real Madrid. Getafe is in the number 6 spot, so this is not an easy trip for Madrid as they need the win here, trailing 2 points behind Barcelona. So outside of La Liga back in action and the FA Cup, it's kind of slim pickings for soccer this weekend if you're looking for things to watch. Your other options, you've got the Coupe de France, which has started today. A lot of games tomorrow. Not sure how many are actually going to be available on BN Sports or BN Sport Connect. Take a look at your listings there. You have action in Portugal that you can keep up with. That will be available on Gol TV or Fanatis, our good friends at Fanatis, or Fubo TV as well. And that's really about it that you're going to be able to watch. You've got a match in Mexico, a friendly, Necaxa and Chivas. That's going to be on Tuesday and a Saturday night. That's about it. Not much to watch this weekend. Let's head over to Reddit, and we'll do a little Fridays with Reddit to wrap up. Interesting article in the Telegraph that was just posted a bit ago. Very interesting considering his new job. Carlo Ancelotti discussed with the Telegraph how he had talks with Liverpool's owners but did not get the job. It was Jurgen Klopp who got the job. Very interesting considering, well, Carlo, Jurgen, going to be facing off this weekend. Chris Bascom at the Telegraph with a juicy little story here to get you ready for the big match in Liverpool this weekend. Ancelotti has had success against Klopp. He's beaten him twice when Ancelotti was at Napoli. So keep an eye on that one. But interesting that he met with Liverpool. I don't know how much that had actually been talked about previously. The big thing all over our Fridays with Reddit segment are transfer rumors. And it's that time of year. It feels like it's been a little bit of a slow entry into the transfer window, but it's only going to ramp up, and it's probably really going to start ramping up early next week as everybody is done with the holiday. You've got some players that I think most are expecting to move in this winter window, and you've got some players who it's probably going to take a good bit of cash to make the move. One name that's bounced around a good bit, and our Fridays with Reddit has a few rumors that Christian Eriksen could be headed to Inter in this window. When it comes to Eriksson, I'll kind of believe it when I see it. There's rumors out there that it's a pretty large number that it's going to take for him to move in this window, and he's out of contract in the summer, so I don't know why you would pay a large number unless you are desperate for him right now. I don't know if Inter's really in that boat. I wonder if there are other teams who might be a little more desperate to get him now. Sure, they're out there. One of them might be up in Manchester and wears red. Just saying. Another name that is starting to get a lot of attention is Dani Olmo, 21-year-old central attacking midfielder, Barcelona product. He is at Dinamo Zagreb, and now Barcelona is in the mix to potentially bring him back. Ernesto Valverde wouldn't go into any detail about that since he's not under contract with Barca. But Tottenham and Chelsea are also mentioned as potential suitors for Dani Olmo. And we finish with everyone's favorite, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Yes, everyone's favorite, especially Nick Alifi. He made an appearance for Milan today from the opening whistle in a friendly against Rodense. Milan, Zlatan, I mean, we've talked about this with Nick, the questions about how this is being handled financially. You know, does it really do much for Milan going forward? I don't know. I'm not so sure how this is going to go. It was a friendly today. They're in action in league play on Monday as Serie A returns to action on Sunday. Milan will be hosting Sampdoria in league play. Other matches to keep an eye on this weekend: Atalanta hosting Parma on Monday, Juventus hosting Cagliari, Roma hosting Torino, Bologna hosting Fiorentina, and the big one is going to be Monday afternoon at 2:45, and Napoli hosting Inter. Gennaro Gattuso, post-game press conferences, always a treat. We'll see what Reno has to say after that one on Monday. We'll be talking about it on Soccer Over There just a few hours after that game concludes. Live from the Brewhouse Cafe, we'll be back in action on Monday evening, 6 to 8 p.m. Come out and join us, hang out with us, grab a mic, talk about your team, talk about your league. We'll talk about the transfer window. We'll get you caught up on all the cup and league action from the weekend. Until then, thanks for listening. Have a great weekend.
Crumpets Espresso.